So welcome to Expert Talks by Kalkine TV. I'm Sage, and today's guest is Lior lamesh. He's a CEO and co-founder of GK8. GK8 is a blockchain cybersecurity company that offers financial institutions an end-to-end platform for managing blockchain-based assets, a world leader in self-managed institutional-grade digital asset custody. They recently announced integration with Near protocol, a leading next-generation blockchain ecosystem. So here to tell us more is the co-founder and CEO, Lior lamesh. Welcome to the show, Lior.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Sage.
Well, can't wait to share your insights about your recent announcement. Congratulations on the big news.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Near is really one of the most leading protocols in the space. And since we find the coin diversity in the market as a key aspect for institutions to offer consumers a large versatility in the assets that they can invest in crypto, it's clearly one of the newest ones that consumers are looking to be involved with. And as an infrastructure provider, it's important for us to be involved with the newest ones as well as the original ones and the oldest ones such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we are very excited to support Near as part of other hundreds of protocols that we are working with.
So you must be in demand. Being in cybersecurity, crypto is obviously a hotspot for exploits and things like that. It's very important to have your cybersecurity identity very well looked after. So there seems to be a lot of changes in volatility in the past few months. What are you seeing, and how does it affect the average consumer? How does it affect financial institutions as well?
Right. So as you said, the market is very volatile these days. At GK8, we are focusing on the financial institution market, right? So when it comes to consumers, they are mainly might look for some opportunities how to do the 10x when it comes to investment. But again, the institutional market, which is the one that we are focusing, this is probably not the best timing for them to bet with their nostro, right? We can see these days that large institutions that decided to invest in crypto and large companies such as Tesla decided to sell like 75% of their holding in Bitcoin. So this is a better timing for them to build infrastructures. And at GK8, as we provide a self-custody technology for institutions, both traditional ones and crypto native large institutions, that's exactly what we do. So when it comes to institutions, it's better timing for them to build infrastructure, to build new applications, so they will be able to be ready for the next bull market. So this is the focus that we recognize these days.
That's great to hear. That's a great attitude to have right now. Use this time to build upon what's already there. I've seen a lot of advancements in digital wallets becoming more user-friendly. When you talk about digital asset custody, can you just explain that? Do you mean cold wallets and things like storage in places like Fidelity, or can people store their crypto on GK8?
Right. So eventually in the crypto space or in the digital assets over blockchain space, custody is the building block infrastructure for any services that any institution would like to offer down the road. Now, today institutions can choose either to work with a self-custody solutions, which mean technology that they own themselves so they can manage the assets of their client directly, or to work with managed custody, sub-custody, such as Fidelity that you just mentioned. When you work with managed custody, sub-custody, there is a third party that's holding the private keys, in other words, holding the crypto on behalf of the institutions. But what we recognize more and more is that institutions prefer to control their own destiny and have their own technology in order to control the assets of their clients. As we all see these days, there are a lot of volatility, not only in a manner of the value of the cryptocurrencies, but also among the biggest companies out there. That these days finding some troubles in how to manage the risk in this volatile market. So institutions want to have the ability to control it themselves and not relying on third parties. So these days, the self-custody aspect become even more commonly used compared to sub-custody, such as Fidelity and others.
That's so interesting. Thank you so much for explaining that. To me, sounds, who's not a developer or computer scientist, it sounds a little bit like software as a service, like cloud computing. It sounds similar. Am I on the right track?
You are.
Okay, thank you so much. So Lior, in the longer term, what implications do these market dynamics have on the wider financial sector?
I think that due to the problems that I just mentioned about the large organizations that find it hard these days, what we're going to see in the coming years is that mainly the regulation going to be involved way more than ever. I think that in the past year, since I think it was the end of 2019 that BaFin in Germany decided that every bank can offer crypto services, and then in 2020 the OCC in the US took the same decision that every bank can offer crypto custody services. So I think the regulation is evolving, but is not a definite one. And these days, due to these market events, the regulator is going to be way more involved. I think that since the blockchain is new technology, the risk-based management should be different. And since it's very hard for institutions and the different players in the market to understand how to manage the risks in such situations, the regulator need to be involved more, need to provide very clear guidelines on what are the kind of risks and range of decisions that institutions can take themselves, while on the other end, what can they do according to the regulator guidelines. So I think that's what we are going to see mainly more and more regulators globally that are going to be involved and enforce some guidelines on how should the institutional market work with the end consumers that have obviously even less knowledge as the institutional market. Yeah, I think this is what we're going to see mainly.
Absolutely. I think we're seeing know your customer, KYC, things like that are becoming much more important, with more banks taking on stable coins and crypto services like you're saying. So we're seeing also that the crypto market sometimes correlates with the tech stocks. Do you think that's because of this bridge that's been galvanized between CeFi and DeFi or the crypto world? Do you have anything to share on that?
I think that the difference between CeFi and DeFi is even in a more advanced stage, right? Eventually, I think there is a more basic, there are more basic things that institutions need to know first, or even the regulators need to know first. GK8 was involved in a lot of calls with different regulators globally, actually. And I think what is the most crucial part to understand is the concept of private keys. Eventually, the private key is the one thing that any institution uses in order to communicate with the blockchain on behalf of its clients, either in order to make a money movement transaction, such as in a CeFi, or either in order to communicate with the DeFi, decentralized finance protocol, which are eventually a little bit more advanced transaction over the blockchain based on smart contracts, which is a code that defines how transactions work. Which is another new concept. So, since we incorporated the company in 2018, every year hacking events in cryptocurrencies are doubled itself with around $14 billion stolen in the past year. And the core reason for such high amount of money that been stolen was mainly the fact that institutions, even the crypto ones, such as crypto exchanges, doesn't really know how to manage well the private keys for either CeFi or DeFi services. So I think we are even still one step behind the differences between how to work with the DeFi, CeFi. In my opinion, it's still one step behind on how to manage the private keys, how to communicate with the blockchain in a secure way in the more basic level. I think we're still in this stage. But we do see evolving in the market. You mentioned before the concept of cold and hot wallets. I think that on the one end, institutions understand that they need to have institutional grade solutions that incorporating either cold wallets or the advanced hot wallets in the market, such as multi-signature or multi-party computation. Obviously, in our world, we have a lot to say about that. Since at GK8, we created the first true cold wallet the only one that can make communication with the blockchain without being connected to the internet at any point. So yeah, it's a very interesting space for the institutions to get into. A lot of knowledge they need to know.
Yes, so true. Well, thank you for that. So as wallets become more and more advanced and crypto, joins on with the banks more, so do you see the need for more interoperability within wallets? So there's going to be erasing the need for bridges, and how important is it for banks to support crypto? What are the benefits can it provide for the consumers as well, please?
Eventually, the crypto is just like another new asset class. And I think that if banks will not decide to adopt crypto, they will stay behind. And all of the newer financial institutions or the newer banks will be able to take advantage of this momentum of crypto being widely used and take over a market share from the traditional banks. So I think banks have no other option but to get involved with crypto and to start adopting crypto and offer crypto services. We don't think that there is another way to choose, and we already see that in the market in the past years. We see like tens of RFIs and RFPs from the largest banks in the market that we are involved with. So we clearly see that from the stage of exploration that we saw in early 2019, these days we already see banks that either making POCs with some internal users on crypto services, and we anticipate more and more institutions and banks to offer services by the end of this year, early next year. So yeah, that's the direction that we see.
Yeah, absolutely. Even in Australia, we have the ANZ Bank, who is developing their own stablecoin as well. So that's really interesting to find out more about how that's going to expand. So how does GK8 create a presence in the world of digital assets, please?
So at GK8, eventually we came up with the first true-cold vault in the market. The meaning of having the first true-cold vault in the market means that we are the only solution in the world that can make the communication process with the blockchain without being exposed to any cybersecurity attack vector. Now, while, as I mentioned, 14 billion stolen in the past year from cybersecurity attacks, having the ability to communicate with the blockchain without being connected to the internet at all is a real game changer in the market. So at GK8 will provide really a high-end solution for the largest financial institutions, mainly banks, right, that need to manage the risk according to their reputation that's on the line and the large amount of money that they need to manage. And by having this game changer technology that comes with the highest insurance in the market as well, we provide $750 million of access to insurance, which is the highest in the market for self-custody technology providers. So really provide the peace of mind that the financial institution needs. Now, we use this cold vault. We are pairing it with the MPC, which is another standard for hot wallet security, which is used for some other functionalities. So we provide end-to-end solution. So large institutions, again, with lack of knowledge in the crypto space, can very easily start and offer new services in the crypto, either custody, staking, DeFi, trading, tokenization. This can all being offered by GK8 solution. Our clients today managing billions of dollars. We're talking about banks, custodians, hedge funds, crypto exchanges, crypto foundations, institutions such as eToro, some large banks in the US and South Africa, large crypto foundations such as Tether Foundation and more these days in the market. Yeah, we are in a process of continue growing. We doubled the team in the past year. We expand our sales in 10 times in last year. We are hiring on a weekly, monthly basis and continue to expand. We have subsidiaries in the US and the UK to have a local presence among our local clients over there. So it's a very exciting time. I think we really take advantage of the fact that institutions understand that crypto is here to stay. So they want to build their infrastructure, and by having infrastructure, they can offer any crypto services that they want down the road according to their blockchain and digital strategy. And this is our mission.
That's fantastic. And all this at such a young age. I believe you're not even a few years over 30, you're very close to 30, is that correct?
Actually, I guess you might ask it due to the publication of Forbes that Shachar, my co-founder, and myself, we've been chosen to the 30 under 30 list. But actually, I just turned 30. I was I've been chosen right before I turned to 30. So yeah, but my partner is my business partner is 27. So yeah.
Amazing. That is so amazing. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And so that's AI, machine learning, encryption, all put into practice with your business. What are the benefits of integrating with the Lior protocol though? I mean, that's a very exciting protocol. What are the partnerships and integrations that you've already made with this blockchain?
So as I mentioned before, Lior is very interesting protocol in a manner of scalability. It has different functionalities that institutions are looking to have when they offer different kind of services. So honestly, Lior is definitely important integration that we did, but this is just like any of other integrations that we have with hundreds of currencies in our solution. GK8 product supports hundreds of currencies, either native protocols or EVM-based protocols, which become a very popular standard that enabling all of our clients to have support in hundreds of EVM protocol in once. And we also have a general support for all of the smart contracts over Ethereum and Tezos, which means that all of the DeFi protocols, the NFT protocols, metaverse applications and more on top of Ethereum and Tezos are supported with GK8 technology. We also have a unique partnership with MetaMask Institutional. MetaMask is one of the most popular gateway for DeFi and Web3. They have very easy to use UI UX of DeFi, right? So MetaMask Institutional is the same version of MetaMask, but with more institutional tools for accounting and more. And the partnership enabling the DeFi functionalities via MetaMask along with the security of GK8. So any interaction with the blockchain is done with GK8 infrastructure, while the interface is with MetaMask. We see that DeFi is another thing in addition to custody that financial institutions these days are looking to adopt more and more. So yeah, we're very excited about these new partnerships that we have in the past months. We really see that as a backbone that should be very meaningful for institutions that want to evolve more than even the standard crypto custody services, and we're glad to support it.
Sounds great. Thank you for sharing that. So it's been a very informative discussion with you today. And as we wrap up, can we find out a bit more about what the future looks like for GK8?
Yeah, sure. So as I mentioned, we're in a very great path of growing in the past year. We are enlarge our team on a weekly or monthly basis. We expand our client portfolio. As I mentioned, we already have global subsidiaries. We're about to open another one in the coming month in Asia. So future is bright. We're excited about our growth and looking forward to work with more and more institutions and enabling them getting into the crypto and digital asset space in the most secure way possible.
Yes, well, hopefully mass adoption of crypto will be happening soon with the space that you're working in, with the banking sector and more institutional investment. Thanks, Lior. I've really appreciated your insights today.
Of course, my pleasure. Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us today. If you're watching out there, we just had a very informative discussion with Lior Lamesh, one of the co-founders at GK8. He's a CEO as well. For the full interview, please check Kalkine Media's YouTube channel. Keep watching Kalkine Media for more of these excellent expert talks and market insights. Until the next episode, stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.